I'm Paul Joss. I'd spent a couple of years in the TAFE system at Wodonga, and then I transferred on to do Bachelor of Business at La Trobe. I chose La Trobe because it was a small campus, it was local, I didn't want to travel to the capital cities and was quite happy to remain here in Albury Wodonga. Uni was a good time, we had a lot of fun. Because we were a small campus, we were forced to be friends with each other. A lot of people came from the capital cities to Albury Wodonga to study, and me being a local, I was happy to include them in my friendship groups around town, and I think Mum was always feeding a few extra mouths here and there. Yeah. I'm very proud of my role here at the Joss Group. It's a family business, so Dad was taking my brother and I to work with him, getting $3 an hour to sweep and clean site huts and site toilets, so that was first memories for me. Always put to work, no different. When I joined the company, I think I was the only person who could use an Excel spreadsheet, so I was put hard to work with the chief estimator to tender for some of the contracts that we were working on at the time. Back in '97, we won a major contract and set up a new division of the company, being facility management. I looked after the accounts payable, receivable, payroll. I was IT manager as well, and from there I grew into the role of general manager, which I sat there for 12 years, and then when Dad gave up the reins, my brother and I were fortunate enough to have the opportunity to lead the company once he stepped away. I think La Trobe gave me the good foundations for me to build my life and career. I use a lot of what I learnt at La Trobe in work now. It taught me some great disciplines, gave me a great general overview, and I've been able to build upon those early foundations to where I am now. I think the biggest challenge for me is I've got 3,000 employees and I've got to keep enough continuity of work in front of. We're contractors, so we live and die by the next contract. We either win it or we don't. Having that continuity of work in front of us is a great challenge. My dad and mum were very kind and generous people, and they always believed that if we have good times, we should share that. I enjoy what I can do elsewhere in the community because of the company. I'm involved in local sporting groups, been on the board of the Albury Tigers football and netball club. We've had a very successful period. It gives me incredible enjoyment to be able to provide a safe environment for 120 odd young men and women to play sport. I also chair the James McQuillan Future Fund. It's a not-for-profit trust that was set up to aid a young footballer that injured himself, became a quadriplegic playing football for the Albury Tigers. I was vice president and welfare manager at the time, and the club decided that we would concentrate on James's welfare whilst his family concentrated on his health. We set about doing a lot of fundraising locally and statewide as well, raising money to give this kid the best opportunity he could. I've recently returned from Denmark, where he represented Australia playing wheelchair rugby and came home with the gold medal. So, world champion. Yeah. My advice to young graduates would be, don't look backwards, just look forwards. Opportunities don't present themselves all that often, so if one presents itself, back yourself and go hard.